One night, Long John Baldry discovered him singing in the London Underground. Quite soon after, he's rocking up front of the Faces and heading for one of the big solo careers of the 70s.
Like, at the start of the 70s, you were with the band and you always insisted, you know, that you would be referred to as a band member. Then you went out in a solo career before you formed the band. Now you're with another band and you've stuck with that.
Yeah.
What are you happiest with?
Happiest with?
Yeah. I mean, you obviously need a band, right?
Well, it helps, you know. It's a little bit silly just to have the voice on the record without the band. It would sound a bit silly, but I think whereas this band, not only are they a better band than the Faces, are more understanding. And they work a bit harder and they're professional. And the Faces were never that.
Right. Now, your music changed fairly radically over the years. Your approach to songwriting, was it all personal sort of reflections of songs, or what?
You asked me that question.
No, I know. I'm asking about it in the 70s.
I don't ask. That's a dicky question.
Well, can you answer it this time? You didn't answer it last
No,
time.
I thought we were going to talk about the 70s.
We are, about your albums in the 70s.
Yeah, which album do you want to talk about?
Well, Atlantic Crossing for a start.
That wasn't so good. That was a miserable album. I didn't like that one at all. That's the only one I can't listen to now. Don't like that one at all. Badly recorded, bad choice of songs. I wasn't writing good songs either in those days, I don't think.
Right. What about Tonight's the Night?
That was a good song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Has it ever worried you that, you know, the album you're doing may not sell because of a change in style and music?
It used to. I think I've got to get it into my mind now that one of these albums are not going to be so successful. I think what we're trying to do now is try and release the pressure a bit and just try and make music for ourselves, if we can possibly do that.
Right.
And in doing so, please everybody else. It's difficult. I don't know.
Going back, did America have that much influence by living in America on your music?
Not, yeah, probably Night on the Town album had a few songs in I, Georgie, perhaps I wouldn't have written if I'd have been living in London, but more so the musicians that played on the album, like Steve Cropper and all those guys.
Right.
It's different now. I think as a band we could record anywhere, which is I think what we're going to have to do, because we're not going to record in America anymore.
Right.
I think we're going to try out Paris or something like that. A useless piece of information for you.
Right. Now, as far as how do you rate ELO as a band?
I don't listen to them very much. I like what they do. It's good commercial pop music, and that's very difficult to make, I would imagine.
But is it important for a band to recreate on stage what is on record? How important is that to you, for instance?
I don't think it's all that important, really.
No?
If you've got a visual act, I think we play better on stage than we do on record.
When will there be a next tour, a world tour?
We're going to start in June.
Tuesday?
Right.
June, we're going to start next June, and the album will be out in June.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we're going to go. But I think it's about time we perhaps struck a happy medium, played one night at the big venue and 2 or 3 smaller venues. Perhaps we'll do that. That's not my department.
Right. Well, a lot of artists felt that.
Sorry, lads.
A lot of artists felt that that perhaps they were losing contact with their audiences by playing to, you know, the huge multi-stadium.
Yeah, well, people who stand still, like most groups, they just go, how can you play 20,000 people? With us, we're a lot more visual. You know, we like finding the show for everybody, you know. It's pretty good. Which is what we do. No, I love the 70s. I mean, I just hope it'll continue in the 80s, but obviously that's not up to me.
Right.
We'll just do the best we can. And if you want us, we'll be here in the men's club.